Hey guys, here to get into one of my all-time favorite bands, Can. They were in their prime era throughout pretty much the early 1970s, and they're pretty glorious what they were doing, especially the David Suzuki days. I mean, he's the prime leader of this fantastic sound. He's a Japanese leader in the German band. I love this combination. I love the original sound, very futuristic, and it does sound very reminiscent of bands that come like Radiohead, but done in a bit more of like a psychedelic, it's like a more psychedelic perspective on Radiohead. It kind of more ends up being a little more feel good. I feel a lot more triumphant. I hear a lot more of a triumphant energy and funk groove. Just desire to have some fun in the music here, rather than take it all so serious. I think that's the edge. I'm just like I know it's important. But I'm like, yeah, I like to have fun a little more than the end. Songs like Hallelujah are just it's an epic song. It's literally 18 minutes long. It's just a giant jam session that takes you through space, literally, in the most extreme kind of way possible. I mean, I've just never heard anything quite like it. That's off their album Tagamago in 1971, which there's so much amazing material on this album. But then there's a few in the end that kind of ramble a little too much on me, but it's still pretty fun to listen to it all the same. It's just the first four albums alone, first four songs of this album alone are freaking masterpieces. It's 4 songs in a row. It's like, yeah, Ogum. I don't really like Ogum. One more cup of coffee is okay though. That's a pretty good one. You got David Suzuki just noodling around a lot in the second half of this album, but all the same, I kind of enjoy the charm of like the first one. It feels like it's a perfectionist kind of sound that just kind of broke loose and just felt like acting crazy for the sake of it. Like get a little all style, you could say. It was kind of all style, like a perfect healthy combination of style and substance in the first four. Then it just really gets going. I mean, Paper House is a masterpiece. I would say that's one of the best songs ever made because that establishes the perfect atmosphere, which is like a very funky sound, but very psychedelic inspired also, very experimental, and just very perfect. I don't know, it takes me through one of the best sounds ever. Mushroom is just amazing. I can't believe that drum riff is even real, honestly, because it's so good. And then you just got, oh yeah, I mean, all the guitar work on this album is so freaking good. Hallelujah is just freaking perfect. The joy the drums play out are just really like nothing else. And Ege Ben Yamsi in 1972, I love that album in the whole, but I don't enjoy listening to it. I always just want to get to, after talking about it, straight to the next album, Future Days, except for the song Vitamin C. I feel like I love that one. It's Soup Spooner, some pretty great songs that rock out pretty well. I get way too excited to get to one of the greatest albums I've ever heard in my life. This is really the album that makes Can one of my favorite bands. That is Future Days, which was made in 1973. But it still sounds like it could have come out today. And it actually it's a sound that does sound like a very true to living right now, honestly. So I feel like they did accurately foreshadow a set aesthetic of the future. There's a 4-song lineup on here. There's Future Days, Spray, Moonshake, and Bel Air. Wow. That basically lays out the music fan right there. So yeah, I love Can. I really love this album particularly. And this is just very relaxed sounding, very happy. It sounds like the band went on vacation. I feel like there was a little more intense energy in the first album. They got loose on the Ege Ben Yamsi. Then here it just got like a vacation sound. It sounds like they went to the beach. This sounds like a beach kind of atmosphere. Being a music fan at the beach reminds me of a lot of like post rock sounds. Like it feels like it sounds like almost inspired by Miles Davis in a Silent Way era. Just hey, how does it get better than that? Same with like Laughing Stuff by Talk Talk. It also sounds like it's influence from this. So, I mean, Bel Air, the last one on this album, is downright transcendental. They're one of my favorite bands ever. Taking this kind of experimental approach in a really hazy and dreamy perspective, and I really enjoy all that. Like these songs just are absolutely perfect at laying out in 1973. So this is like nothing like this is around. This is like the best album. One of the best albums ever made. This is my favorite album that year. Many great albums coming out that year, but when you get the Bel Air though, geez, that song is a drift. Future Days is just a perfect like bicycle ride. This album makes me so excited to go on a bike ride. Just enjoy some nature, and that's what a lot of these albums do. They really make me fall in love with nature. Same with just so many of these artists do. And I mean, Can is really a one that gets me well because it's just a perfect modern way of living a happy life, fulfilled life within a strange awkward kind of person, and that's what it's all about. So that's Can. I highly recommend them to everybody. They are awesome.